Now that the basic repair is done, we can move on to the next step, which is making something up here, I'm thinking like an A-frame, as a deterrent, keeping the cats from jumping on top of the cages. More right after this. I'm Rick, and this Shut the heck up, you stinking roosters. Build up for your sanity. This is the shack. Hello and welcome back to the shack. Yes, we're going to continue some progress out here in the shop. Back out here again today. Good thing, trying to stay motivated, trying to get my mind, it's okay to come out here and work again. So this is a good thing. This is a huge benefit to me personally right now. Check out that video. I go through the process of remaking this screen for this enclosure. Cats got up here, broke through. The screen was broke in a spot here prior, but a little C-clamp would hold right there and just keep it closed. It was no big deal. It was okay. It wasn't broke all the way. It was cracked until they jumped up in here, fell through. It actually broke that completely through. So it was time. It needed to be completely redone. So on this one, I kind of have an idea what I want to do. I'm going to build some type of a A-frame here. That way the cats can't jump on top of it. It keeps them completely off the top of this. So we'll just go with that, and I'll talk a little bit more at the end. I do have an idea for a final enclosure. I'm going to build something, I think, from what I've been seeing online, a 2 foot by 2 foot, 2 foot high, 2 feet deep, 4 feet long is the perfect enclosure. I just have to figure out how I'm gonna make two so I can double stack them in a single cabinet. Make sure you're subscribed, hit that notification bell so you're notified when that video comes out. You may not necessarily need some type of a cage for a snake, but other reptile stuff, this might give you a few ideas on how to maybe build one for yourself, and especially not just a single, but a double stack so you can have a couple of different animals. With that, let's just dive right in. Got an idea. I think I know how I'm going to get started. So the first thing I'm going to do for this temporary A-frame, I'm going to make a frame that goes just around the top of the cage, and then the A-frame will come in here and I'll just shoot some nails in to hold it, or from the inside out, whichever, and just set it on there. It's got to be temporary. I'm going to use my little woodpecker corner things here. That's going to keep this nice and square. Very nice. Shoot me a couple nails. I got glue on there already. I'm using 1.5 inch 18 gauge brads. There we go. Bueno, bueno. A little bit high, but it doesn't have to be perfect. It's just something temporary. So now what I'm going to do, these little pieces came off of my support I had on the vintage table saw, which I no longer needed once I got my Harvey. So I'm just basically cutting the corner. I'll set this on the cage, I'll butt this up against it, then I'll cut this piece off and hopefully I have enough of that in. Let me go cut these ends squared first. There, I got that end cut. Basically going to set this on here, but where did it go? That'll sit on there like that. So I just want to make sure I get this right. I got my mark right there. I just lost my wind muff. You might hear a little noise. Right there it is. And from getting there and making a lot of noise. So now that's my mark, but I'm going to go just about a 30-second wider. So if that's the mark, I'm just going a little bit over, just so this has a little leeway on it. I don't want it to fit snug. Like I said, it's going to go about halfway down, and then the A-frame will go here up. Nail in this, it's just going to sit on there. It's just something to deter the cats from sitting on here until I build the new cages. And I will talk about that once we get this done. I do have an idea I found last night, finally. So let me cut this down and we can put that on here. Okay, so you can see it a little bit better. I'm gonna put it on this side and this goes here. So I'm gonna hold that side there. You see it sticking out. You see right there. Right there, perfect. See, it sticks out just a hair, so if I bring that out, just even with that, it gives me a little play here. So that is perfect. What I'm using, just because I'm taking a little time, I'm using Tight Bond Quick and Thick. So that way I got enough time to really get this in here, move it around. Good thing about this, it's metal, so if I hold right on top here, it's not going to go through the metal. At least I hope it doesn't, but. There we go. We got one more to do, and we got to figure out the top. Perfection. I have the little clamps, corner clamps on opposite corners here, so I can set this on here. It looks good there, it's flush. And then all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna measure this corner to that corner, then I'll get this corner and I'll move this up in or out to get it the same measurement so it's square all the way around. Shoot a nail into it after I put some glue on it so I can kind of move it, shoot a nail into it, make sure it's all good, shoot a second nail into it, and then I'll just use the handsaw and I'll cut off this little excess here. That'll be the top. Then I can just set the A-frame in here like this, and then from the inside kind of shoot to this, because again, it's just going to be removable, and I can just temporarily set it under like that until I get the cages built. So let me put this down here and get this squared up, nailed up. I get this side glued up, and then I'll go from this corner to that corner, get the measurement, then I'll go from this corner to this corner. Once I get this glued on there like that, then I can move this in or out until I make sure it's square. So I'm gonna get this side done first. So it gives me time to, and it doesn't move too much, so this is good. There we go. All right, that way it keeps it there while I lift it up. Perfect. Yeah, I'm definitely in between the 16th mark, so I'm a 32nd shy of 3 3/4. Yeah, that's very close. So 33 3/4, so I'm gonna be right there. So right there is where I need to be. So let me get some glue on this one. I'll get that pretty well set. Okay. That's close right there. Don't have to be perfect, it's just got to be close. Make sure it stays nice and square. There we go. And there we have it. Yeah, that was shut out a little bit. So I'm going to pull that out. That's pretty well done. Now I got to do the A-frame part. Well, I have it figured out. It looks like it's close to about 29.5 degrees. As you saw, I got my blade set at 29.5. Lower this back down and put my dust collection on here. Okay. I have this basically all set up. I got this with little C-clamps. I got it a 1/2 inch reveal coming up, and that's plenty for this to set in. Flat edge, angled in, flat edge at the bottom, and I'm just going to kind of go up like that. And I'll shoot a couple nails to hold this in there. And that's basically it. Go like that. It's simple. So let me get the glue on this side. That's all she takes. Well, there we have it, all glued up. And I basically just glued the sides, 2 different pieces together. You see the 3 clamps. As you see here, I glued it down. I used 1/2 inch staples, stapled around here just to hold it on there so that'll give it support. just to keep this together. I glued all that together, clamped it together, glued this onto here, put staples in there to hold it, allow it to dry for a while. When it's done, we'll finish it up and secure it to the frame. And there we go. It is complete. I basically, I don't see there, I glued this to the top since these slats here rest on top of that. This being glued to this now, it would only go down so far when it hits here, and that's it. And this is about where it's setting. Real simple, I just lift it up. It's a little bit tight. Again, this is temporary. At least it keeps the cat off from jumping on the screen. So let me put this back on here. I'm just going to set it on there for now. That is done. That is another check off. Yeah, we're doing good. We're getting back out in the shop. It was very hot today, so I did a little bit, went in the house, cooled down, came out, did a little bit more, went in the house at dinner, came out here, and we finished it. So I like the way it came out. Simple, easy. It's definitely a good deterrent as far as the cats are concerned. That will keep them off the cage. From what everybody was saying, 2 by 2, 2 feet square, 4 feet long is basically the premium terrarium, or whatever you want to call it, for a snake. That's a good size. So I think that would be a suitable enclosure for them. So this is the one I found online. I like the design, so I'm going to build mine myself. I think that costs about $400 to $500. I don't need to spend that kind of money. I can build it myself for $100, $200 max. The other thing is, a lot of people, I think they use PVC sheet, plastic sheet, 1/2 inch thick. I'm going to think about that. I don't know if we have it at my local hardware store. I'll have to see what about that. If I build something like this, it's going to have a sliding glass, not plastic, because I don't want that to flex at all, because I think the snake push on it, possibly get out between the two sliding panes. So I'm going to have glass so it can't flex that much, and I'll just have a little mechanism that locks it in there. When I take those out to clean the inside, I want to be able to wipe it down and clean it. So I don't know if it's going to be a melamine. I don't want 3/4, it's going to be way too heavy. I'm going to try to keep it a 1/2 inch material, or I'm going to use this PVC stuff that everybody says they use. I've never seen it. I got to see if they have it at my local hardware store. So I'm going to use that idea and make a double stacked 2 feet square, 4 feet long enclosure. I'll have a divider about 6 inches between the two with doors that open up, and that way I'll have the light in there, and I'll have the heater underneath for the top one. And then top one will have a light on it also. It will be enclosed, so if the cats get on there, it's not going to hurt because it's going to be a solid top. So that's it. Make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell so you're notified when the videos come out. I may do some little projects in between, but I'm going to start building the snake cages, and I'll have a video on that too. It's good to be back out in the shop. We're getting a little more relaxed out here, not getting so freaked out in my mind that I can't do nothing. So this is a good start, a good beginning. Get me back out here, not thinking I'm gonna have another incident and die. Gotta get that out of my mind. So thank you so much for watching. Be blessed. Take back your shack. Build it for your sanity. The journey continues. Thanks again for watching. We will see you next video.